Good morning, YouTubers. T Square here with T Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video planned out for you guys today. Today, I want to take a little time and talk about fear. Fear selling, panic selling. It is definitely starting to happen out there. Maybe it's some people saying the smart choice. It's not fear, it's a matter of wits, smarts. I've heard it all today. It's been a crazy day. I should say yesterday. Been a crazy day yesterday for me. I'm actually filming this video about 11 o'clock at night last night, and it was a hectic day. So I ended up going to see a buddy of mine. Some of y'all know I said that I picked up some great deals on some silver the day before. And then I wanted to go back with any money I could scrape together yesterday to get a little bit more of it. And as soon as I walked in, I was like, oh, he's got someone with him. And so I was about ready to leave because I don't like interrupting stuff. And he's like, hey, hang tight, T. I want to talk to you. And then I was like, okay. So I waited a little bit. And then when I went in his office, I was like, wow, he had a bunch of silver on his desk. And silver is definitely being sold off right now. I asked him, he said, I'm having a lot of people selling right now. And that really makes me wonder what's going on. It does make me question a little bit. However, the data, the charts, the numbers, everything points to higher silver prices. However, there is a lot of selling taking place. A lot of people, whether you want to call it taking profits, whatever. But I will say it's a lot of cool stuff getting sold off. We're going to talk a little bit about the selling, the panic, the fear, why I'm not worried. And, I got to say, it's one thing to talk about something, but we're in uncharted waters for myself. I've never experienced this high silver prices before. Some of you all have actually been stacking longer than me. A lot of you have. The person that I was talking to today, he said, dude, he goes, I'm a little nervous. As soon as he got a minute, he made a phone call and he sold a bunch of stuff and locked in all of his prices. He said, I'm sending it, lock it in, lock it in, lock it in. And I asked him, I said, what does that mean, lock it? What are you locking? He said, I'm locking in the price. So if it goes down in the time it takes to get to them, it's not on me. But these are all short movements anyway, but why is everybody selling? That's what I want to talk about today. If you enjoyed today's video, please help me out. Hit that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment. I love to read y'all's comments. Let me know your thoughts, and if you're not subscribed, do the ultimate. Hit that subscribe button. Help me out. So what is happening? What is my plan? So first of all, obviously I'm still buying. And I love seeing some of the stuff that is getting sold off right now. Today, I picked up a bunch of different Star Wars rounds, which was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty awesome to pick that stuff up. A couple of birthday holder Silver Eagles. I thought that was pretty cool. And some miscellaneous stuff. I bought a bunch of junk silver. Bunch of silver quarters. I was a little disappointed, but I was told don't. One of my buddies that I talked to tonight, he's like, don't worry, he's not going to burn you. I was a little nervous. I was actually 15 quarters short on a bag of quarters, and I was like kind of panicking. Even though I got a great deal on the silver quarters, I was super happy with that. And I'm sure he probably will make it right for me. So, and you guys don't know who the person is, so it doesn't matter. But needless to say, I always overthink stuff. And so it was crazy. People just selling. Like I've said, I've never experienced the selling. However, I was talking to him today, and he's like, dude, you weren't in the markets when it went up to $50. And plunged to like 35 in one day, one afternoon. Some of y'all remember that. Some of y'all remember that in the 2011 when the price just kept going up. But so much is different today. That's what I keep telling myself. And when I look at the charts, so much is different. There's more money in the system than ever before. There's more millionaires in the system today than there were back then. When all this money starts panicking, they're going to look for safe haven assets. Now, we've been lucky here in the United States because a lot of our inflation We export it. We send our currency, our inflation overseas. You know, I've used the analogy before. If I write you out a check for $100 and you hold it, and then I write out a check for $100 to, like, I don't know, 100 people, 500 people, 1,000 people, if they all cash it, I'm going to go broke. But if nobody cashes it, I mean, think about it. I'm lucky. If they're not taking them dollars out of my account, I'm lucky. Maybe they like the check and they just want to save it. Well, the truth of the matter is a lot of countries around the world have liked our dollars. They've been holding our dollars. I mean, even to the point where I've talked to someone in Venezuela, and he told me, no, we prefer dollars over Bolivar. You know, and he didn't say silver. He didn't say gold. He didn't say Bitcoin. He said United States dollars. Why? Because the dollars are viewed as a safe haven asset, essentially. They look at the dollar like it is an asset, like it's something real. The truth of the matter is, every country in the world now prints their money out of thin air. The dollar just happens to be one that people view as the safest, but that's slowly changing. Whether you want to call it the BRICS, whether you want to call it deflation, I shouldn't say deflation, devaluation. You know, we're seeing it change. Excuse me, I'm catching a little bit of cold again, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm going to have to go back on my allergy medicine. But we're seeing now silver ramp up, and that's people getting nervous about holding dollars. And I think a lot of people are holding silver. They're holding gold. I talked to a young kid yesterday. I say today a lot, but I mean yesterday. That he wanted to start picking up gold. He's already bought 2 small gold coins. And he says, I think gold's going to continue to go up. We haven't even begun to see the gold rally or the silver rally. He's not as big on silver, but he agrees that it's the dollar going down. When I took a little time talking with him, I'm like, man, he's pretty knowledgeable on this stuff. He's been watching someone's channel, hopefully mine, but who knows. It's interesting what's happening, though, that there's so many people out there that are panic selling. Now, here's the thing. I got asked the other day, am I still thinking about selling half of my stack? Because if you've been following the channel for any long time, you remember when I was buying silver at 20, 25, 30. People, I wouldn't buy at 30. It's coming back down to 20. Oh, I wouldn't buy at 35. It's going back down to 25. Oh, I wouldn't buy at 40. On and on and on. And I always said, no, I'm going to keep buying. I'm not selling. I mean, I might trade some stuff here and there, but at the end of the day, I said I would probably sell when silver gets over 50. Why would I sell? Because at that point, if it goes to 50, I've more than doubled my money, and I can sell half my stack and take all my money back out of it. Every penny I've ever put in, I could take out. However, now, looking at what's going on, I don't want to sell. I think a lot of these people that are selling are getting sucked into a trap just before a huge run. And I wouldn't even be surprised to see it sit right around this $50 level for a little bit. Why? Because there's a whole lot of selling. And yes, there's a lot of buying. But that selling is going to slow that rally down until we push through it. Those people are selling left and right. I mean, look at any YouTuber video that has a coin shop, or go into any coin shop and ask them, or any bullion dealer. We buy gold, we buy silver, and look and see what's happening. People are selling like crazy. But here's the thing. Those people are not essentially real believers. They don't really follow it. All they saw was a quick gain. Hey, I got to put, $1,000 into something, and now it's worth $2,000. That's a good profit. I'm going to sell. How long will that fiat last them? How long will that paper last them? Now, if you're selling, if you're watching this video, and yes, you're selling, I read a lot of the Wall Street Silver Reddit group page, And I seen one person, he sold half of his stack. He paid off his mortgage. Now, if you're selling to do something smart like that, well, I totally understand that. I mean, he's going to have a home the rest of his life and not have a bill. He can take that savings and start rebuying his silver back up. Will he buy it at a higher price? That's a possibility. Could we see a pullback? We could, but more I talk to people, as soon as we see a pullback, everybody I talk to says they're buying as much as they can. They're going all in if they get an opportunity, a good pullback. Now, what is a good pullback? 45. I mean, here's the thing. Not even 2 days ago, silver was down to 46, I think. 47? Is it 47? Might have been 47. Let me pull up the chart real quick. 5-day. Yeah, roughly 46. So think about that. $46, not even a week ago. What do we see here in this dip? 47 right here. And then today, 49.54. And technically, I'm even convinced that, well, no, because the futures price is that. Usually the futures price is a little higher, but right now with the backwardation, and I did a great video. If you don't know what backwardation is, check out that video yesterday that I did on it. But right now, the spot price is coming in higher. We're at $49. I ended up today buying, I think, my first silver ever at $50. And yes, I bought some. I got some at $49, which was pretty much spot price. It was actually $48.75, and he gave it to me for that. Some of it, I'm going to say the junk stuff, not the fancy Star Wars rounds, but the junk stuff. And then the nice stuff, I bought a tube of Silver Eagles, got them at $50 a piece. He said, I got to put a premium on them. You know people like those. Absolutely. And including me. My son's the one that got me to like them. I've never been a fan of them personally, but my son liked them, and so I started kind of picking them up. And little by little, I'm picking them up. Although one of these days I do plan on going through and kind of cleaning out my stack and selling some of the higher premium stuff. But right now it would be hard because we're seeing a lot of higher premium stuff get sold off. I was talking to him about collectibles silver. We're not seeing collectible stuff run up quite as fast as the silver. What do I mean by that? You know how you get these fancy collectible Morgan dollars, maybe it's a Carson City, and maybe it's worth like $500. Well, the silver went up, yes. But the actual collectability didn't go up quite as much. Are they heavily sought after? Yes. There are always going to be people out there that are willing to pay anything to have something that is extremely limited. They want something that other people don't have. And, hey, that's great. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to acquire ounces. And now, with the price pretty much just under $50, I think our time to pick up silver under 50 is running out. I talk to a lot of people. They say they're waiting for a pullback before they buy anything, even if it's just a few dollar pullback. I'll be honest, I didn't put in my Legendary Warrior order for the Legendary Warriors. I'm holding off a little bit to see if maybe we see a little bit of a pullback. Am I buying silver? Of course I am. But those have a little bit of a higher premium, and they're a bullion round. So I said I'm not gonna get them just yet. I'm willing to wait just a little bit. Is it going to be a great set when it's done? Absolutely. But right now I'm like, I'm just trying to get some silver as cheap as I can. And when it comes time to get them, I may just get very little, enough to satisfy my friends' collections. Because I don't want to pay the high premium on anything right now. Why? I mean, think about the price on some of this stuff right now. I don't know if you guys are buying, if you guys are selling. Leave me a comment below. Let me know. Are you buying right now at these prices? Are you selling at these prices? Or are you just holding back? And there's nothing wrong with buying, selling, or holding back. Whatever your choice is, that's up to you. Because like I've always said, this is not financial advice. It's just my personal viewpoints, and each person has to look out for their own finances themselves. If you're putting your future retirement in someone else's hands, you're probably making a mistake. Because right now, a lot of financial analysts are still laughing at, they don't understand why we're buying gold and why we're buying silver. They still just view it as pointless. But little by little, some people are waking up. And maybe some of these people actually always knew, but they just want to keep the lie going as long as they can. I believe that a time is going to come where we're going to see $100 silver. And I think that time is actually going to be next year. I know I read a couple comments. A couple people said they think that silver is going to go to $70 this year. Honestly, I think we will start slowing down. Do I think we still have room to run? Yes. But think about how much we're up already. When you look at the silver spot price right now at $48.91, and then you look at year to date, let's see if it says the percentage. It doesn't. Let's see. Will it say it here? Boom. Year to date. I like this chart because, and here's the thing. This is not even entirely accurate because this is the futures chart. And right now, the futures chart is lower than the spot chart. But it's showing so far this year, silver is up $18.50. That's a 62% increase in your wealth. Had someone ask me the other day, they're like, dude, have you considered how much your collection has gone up in value? Well, I know it's gone up 62%. Have I calculated exactly? No, but I mean, I'm sure it's a good amount of money. And a lot of people are looking at their collection right now wondering. I had someone ask me just last night. He had said, I asked him, I said, would you sell your collection if you could sell it right this minute? Everything. He said, I don't know anybody that could buy my collection. That's what he told me. I said, maybe your buddy. I can't afford his collection. But the truth of the matter is, it can be sold off. Big bullion dealers are still buying huge amounts. And there are going to be a lot of people that will sell. Maybe this is the number you've been waiting for. And it's here. But the problem that comes up is, what do you do when you sell it? You sell it. Let's say you sell your collection right now. You jump on the bandwagon, you dump your collection, and maybe you'll be able to buy it back up at $40 an ounce. Maybe you won't. I mean, I look at my collection, all the different stuff that I've collected that's silver. I mean, yeah, what would I get? If I sold my collection today, hypothetically, one, I'd probably take a little bit of a cut. When I buy it back, I'm going to have to pay a premium on that stuff. Will it go down enough to cover the premium? Especially, a lot of my collection, I pick up a little here, a little there when I can get deals. For most people, if you're trying to buy a huge amount, you're going to pay whatever. And that's exactly what's happening right now. People that are new to the game are looking at $50 silver as, hey, that's the price, $50 silver. Talked to one kid that he picked up those two little 1/10 ounce gold coins. And his viewpoint on it is, hey, that's it. I'm paying $430, $440, whatever it is. And, it's only going to go up. He doesn't know about when a lot of us were buying 1/10 ounce gold coins at $100 a piece, like they were a $100 bill. That was the first ones I ever bought were $100 a piece. Then $139 a piece and $150. I remember $175 for a while. I remember $200. And then all of a sudden $200 kind of jumped. It seemed like I was already up to $300 in a blink of an eye. Then $4. Now you're lucky if you can find 1/10 of an ounce of gold for $440. $440. Price is only going higher. Now, is there a possibility, like I said, that we could see a pullback? We could. Anything can happen. But is it going to last, or is it going to be just a consolidation? Year to date right here, this was a nice little pullback right here. 34.65, and then it plunges to 29.23, lasting a whole, it fell for 2 days. However, it was pretty much back up there 20 days later, and even higher 2 months later. So, yeah, there was a slow period. Could we see that now? I think it could happen. But I don't think we'll see a big drop, a big dip. I certainly would not want to wait on it right now. However, people do need to be mindful that anything can happen now. We are in uncharted territory. But I think a lot of the panic is going to sell off right now. And when that's over, that's it. We're going to continue this run if we don't continue it now. Because why? Because with the backwardation that we did the video on yesterday. Big entities are buying large amounts of silver right now. Real quick, let me ask Google. Okay, Google, what do you predict silver will be next year?
I don't know the answer to that specific question, but according to goldsilver.com, when asked about silver's outlook in 2025, Gold Silver's lead analyst Alan Hibbert shared his perspective. I'm expecting silver to return about 25% in 2025, putting it around $40.
I don't know if you heard that, but they're expecting 25% next year, putting it around $25. Clearly, Google is outdated and not realistic. I mean, we're sitting at almost 50 now. A lot of these people that predict silver predictions in terms of like banks, they're predicting low. I mean, if we get 25% next year, how many people would be happy? I'd be happy with that. That's like another $12.50. We'd be at $62.50 if we don't go up any higher this year. At the end of next year, $62.50. Here's the thing. People become desensitized to higher prices once they're there. The sooner we break through 50 and people have to start paying 50, 55, 56, 57, even if it comes down, they're just going to look at it as a bargain. Right now, the fact that it's climbing faster and faster, yes, it's scaring people. However, any kind of a pullback is a gift. I'm not at all scared, even though I was a little, when I was sitting there thinking today, listening to him tell me his story, listening to him lock in the stuff that he's sending off to get melted. And yes, he told me he didn't even know that was really a thing. He thought when he sold junk silver, he told me, I didn't realize they melted that down. I just thought they took it and sold it off in bags. Nope. A lot of that gets melted off. That's why a lot of people are typing in the comments, stop the melt. We've been hearing this more and more. With that being said, I'm saving in metals. I'm going to keep stacking. I think a lot of the people that watch this video are going to keep stacking, and that's it. Hey, what's this real quick? Let's just read this. Remember, leave a comment because tomorrow is Friday, and I read all the comments every Friday and answer any questions. Taking a quick look. Could silver hit $100? Yes. A price of $100 per ounce of silver is considered realistic possibility within the next 5 to 15 years. Some analysts, driven by strong industrial demand in sectors like green energy, AI, ongoing supply deficits, potential investment in safe haven during times of economic instability or conflict, while a surge to $100 would require a significant rally. Many experts see it as an achievable, though not guaranteed outcome, particularly if inflation factors continue to develop. I don't know why they say, though not a guarantee. I mean, let's be honest, inflation is ramping up. It's not coming down. So we'll see. What's the future of forecast? Analysts say silver currently at $15.94 per kilogram remains undervalued in 2025. What was that? Did someone say 5,000? Man, something. I don't see this happening anytime soon. Will silver hit $5,000 an ounce? That's a funny question. But let's read what it says. I'm curious. $5,000 an ounce. No. Most analysts do not predict silver hitting $5,000 an ounce. Rather, forecast prices to range between 40 and 50 by late 2025 or 2026. Well, clearly that's outdated because we're already there. with some predicting higher values in the longer term, like 100, 130, or even more if gold could reach 5,000. The current rally is driven by geopolitical tensions, the economic uncertainty, but the silver market is still tied to industrial demand, a factor that makes it different from gold as a pure safe haven asset. So think about this: gold has the safe haven asset, but silver, people view that as a safe haven asset, and it has industrial demand. But yet, it blows my mind how many people are out there selling right now. Let me know in the comments, are you selling? Are you buying? If you've been to a coin shop, are they selling? Are they buying? What are they seeing more of? I'd love to hear y'all's comments. Tomorrow, I will be reading everybody's comments out loud for the Friday morning video. With that being said, going to wrap up here. I thank everybody for watching. Not a long video today. It just drives me nuts. I'm just kind of shocked how many people are really scared that the price is at a peak. Like, it can't go any higher because we've seen 50 and then it got beat down, and then we've seen 50 again and it got beat down. Back then, 10x run, yeah, that was great. Today, a 3x run, maybe even I'm being generous saying a 3x run. A 3x run, I wouldn't call that amazing and panic worthy. So with that being said, I will see y'all again on T-Square Talk. Hope y'all have a great day. And, oh, hey, real quick, did we even look at the silver price? So silver sitting at 48.40 as of right now. And gold, actually, I'm sorry, I said 48.40, 48.94. The spot price is what we got to look at. And the gold spot price trading at $4,000 and basically $40, with that little bit of a drop right there that you can see if you zoom out. You can see that kind of dip down nicely today. You know what? It got up to 4,060 and then it sold off to 4,000 only to pop right back up relatively quick. I think this is just getting started. I really do. I'm not worried at all. I'm still picking up what I can when I can. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care, everybody, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Don't forget, write a comment, hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.